ओम ज्ञान ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपथकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा। Quickly recap of whatever we saw in the last class. We saw slokas from 2.3031 to 2.39 to 40, almost 8 to 9 slokas, specifically emphasizing on Krishna. What was he specifically trying to emphasize on? Anybody?
Perform your duty. Don't run
Perform your
away
duty.
from the fight.
Don't run away from the fight. And he gave a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Any specific reasons?
Being a Kshatriya, he has to perform his duties to the.
Yes. So being Kshatriya, you have to perform duty. Okay, then.
Even if he gets defeated, or killed, he will go to heavenly planets. And
Okay.
if he wins here, then he will have the kingdom on the earth. Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Then.
So either way, it is beneficial for Arjuna to proceed
Either
and
way,
fight.
different.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the second reason, and two more reasons he's giving.
If he run away, they will enemies will laugh at him.
Enemies will laugh. Yes. Okay. Then two more.
Of course, he will go to hellish planet again if he leaves the fight.
Correct. So papam evap. So if you don't fight only, you will get. Then one more.
If he don't fight, infamy. Yeah, that's what
Infamy will. Yeah. Good. Infamy will come. If you don't fight, infamy will come. And then he's also pointing out separately, like all the great generals will talk bad about you. Okay. So, and then finally, what does he conclude? What does he say?
Dishonor is worse than death.
Dishonor is worse than death. Okay. And then finally, he's saying one more thing.
So he will benefit either way. Even
He'll
if
benefit
killed, he will attend heaven or victorious. He'll
Yeah,
enjoy.
that is already covered. That's already covered.
Fight for the sake of fighting.
Exactly. At least for the sake of fighting, you have to fight. And then finally, he'll say, at least for me, for my sake, at least you fight. Okay. So that is the last point he is trying to put that. And then he's getting into this sections, whatever we are supposed to see today. Okay. 2.39 onwards. Esha bhite sankhe buddhir yoga itvam imam shunu buddhaya yukta yaya partha karma bandham prahasya. Okay. So we'll go into 2040. We'll start from 2040 onwards today. Very nicely. Neha vikramano sosti pratyavayo na vidyate स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात् नेहा विक्रमणो स्वस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात् नेहा विक्रमणो स्वस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. Okay, please read the synonym translation and purport. We'll go by alphabetical order, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. So I'll start. Hare Krishna. Now, there is not iha in this yoga abhikrama in endeavoring nasaha loss asti there is pratyavahya diminution na never vidyate there is su alpam a little api although asya of this dharmasya occupation trayate releases mahataha from very great bhayat danger. Translation: in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangers dangerous type of fear. Purport. Activity in Krishna consciousness or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed, otherwise, the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work begun in Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect. Even though not finished, the performer of such work is therefore not at loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%, whereas in material activity without 100% success, there is no profit. Ajamil performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness, but the result he enjoyed at the end was 100% by the grace of the Lord. There is a nice verse in this connection in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.15.17. त्याक्त्वा स्वधर्मं चरणं भुजं हरेर् भजन भजन अपाक्वोत्थापटेत् ततो यदि यात्रा क्वा वभाभद्रम् अभुत अमुष्या किम को वर्था अपतो भजतं स्वधर्मता. If someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? Or, as the Christians say, what profiteth a man if he gain the whole world yet suffer the loss of his eternal soul? Material activities and their results end with the body, but work in Krishna consciousness carries a person again to Krishna consciousness even after the loss of the body. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life to begin of being born again as a human being, either in the family of great cultured Brahmana or in a rich aristocratic family that will give one a further chance of for elevation. That is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So this sloka, Prabhupada uses this sloka in many of the quotations, and then the next sloka also, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. The main emphasis what Krishna is trying to convey is whatever you're trying to do from your karma, whatever you're trying to do as your action, even a small endeavor, whatever you want to improve, it will not only benefit you in your current life, it will benefit you in the future also. And then most importantly, the very important point, what was Arjuna trying to exhibit is fear, not fear of fighting, but more fear of what will happen next, what will happen, right? Generally, when somebody performs an actions for whom they are not very clear about the way it has to be done, for them who are not very clear about what will be the outcome, in general, we will have that fear. Okay, somebody told me I'm doing it. Okay, for the sake of doing it, I'm doing it. So like that, when they try to do, when we are not 100% confident, generally for any action, we will have a sense of fear. Correct, right? So in practical situations also, let's say we are trying to do some action, but we are not very clear of the outcome, but we have to do, or we have to do it in a very half-hearted way. Whatever be it, we'll have that small fear. This fear is more of something will happen, something unexpected will happen, whatever be it, right? So Prabhupada is also emphasizing that point, that whatever we try to do, Krishna is emphasizing that very important point, that trayate mahato bayat, even great dangers will be removed. So most importantly, whatever fear that Arjuna was exhibiting, it should not be there. That these people will be killed, this everything. But Prabhupada is also emphasizing a very important point. When somebody performs an action with a lot of confidence in Krishna conscious way, or in a way where everything is towards channels to Krishna, definitely even if it's a failure, he will continue. He will be able to take it up in the next birth also, in the next cycle also. So nothing to really worry. And more importantly, even a small endeavor, even a very small endeavor, that's what Prabhupada is also making. Even a small endeavor, 1%, even Prabhupada is making, 1% is also will be very helpful, so that it will keep on improving. So that is where Prabhupada giving this Ajamila example. Ajamila was a perfect person. He was doing all kind of Brahmanical activities, everything. But of course, he did a small mistake and then he had to fall down. But it does not mean that he is completely down, right? So Krishna helped him to again revive, and then he was able to come back to his original position, original status, and then he was able to perform nice devotional service, and then finally he was able to do. So by the grace of the Lord, it is very important. So Prabhupada is also making that Bhagavatam 1.5.17 sloka, and that he is giving that whatever be it will help him. It will help that particular person, even if it is not perfect. So we are not talking about perfection in Krishna consciousness. We are talking about performance in Krishna consciousness. That's all. That performance can be, cannot be, or I'll say cannot be like, evaluated, collected. Wow, you have done so much of, for example, we will usually say book distribution. Wow, he has done so much of book distribution. He has only, no, he has performed book distribution. That is itself is more than enough. Okay. That is what is more important. He has performed. He is able, for example, oh, this person is doing Mangalarti for every day, so many years. Okay. But somebody will say, oh, he has just started performing Mangalarti. That is fine. Performance of that activity is more important than consistent performance. Consistent performance is more important than just coming and saying, oh, I've been doing it for many years, this and all. But just performance alone matters. Okay. That is what is Prabhupada is also important. The last paragraph is very nicely mentioned. Okay. Material activities and the results end with the body. So the actions that we try to perform from a material perspective end with the body, which means it will never get carried away. But however, anything that is more from Atma, anything more from spiritual connection will carry forward from this birth to another birth. For example, all of us are getting this opportunity to read Bhagavad Gita through Prabhupada Mercy is all because of two aspects, or I'll say three aspects. First aspect is our karma phala, whatever our sukriti, whatever we have done in the past, we are able to do. And the second aspect is our lineage, our parents, our forefathers had that sukriti and they are giving their blessings. And this one. Third is the most important thing. Any idea? What will be the third one?
Krishna's blessings.
Krishna's blessings. Krishna mercy. Okay.
Surrender.
Surrender. Oh no.
Mercy of spiritual master.
Yeah, mercy of spiritual master and mercy of the devotees. Krishna himself will declare in the next set of slokas. Association with the devotees alone will be making us to. So in association of devotees, we'll get mercy of Krishna. In association of devotees, we'll get mercy of spiritual master. In association of devotees, we will be able to proceed further. Okay. So always remember, we should be thankful to all these, all three, whatever we have done in the past, and whatever our parents, our sukriti from lineage, and our association with the devotees. Okay. Clear? And Prabhupada is making that point. That is, this is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness. Most importantly, okay. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life of being a human being. So we don't have to really worry. If somebody is asking, I've done so much of bad things, so much of these things, not to worry. This is this sloka is about not to worry sloka. There are not of not to worry sloka, right? If you want to go and preach to anybody, you can tell this sloka and say Krishna is giving you an assurance. This is an assurance what Krishna promise sloka or assurance sloka. Okay, yeah. Let's go to 41 also. This is also very important sloka. Vyavasayatmika buddhir eke. This sloka is 9-gem sloka. 9-gem sloka is one. Prabhupada in quotations he has used many times this sloka. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekaha kurunandanaha bahusaha ki anantasya buddhayo vyavasayinam. Okay, please read. Mataji, anybody? Next one, please read.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay. Vyavasaya atmika buddhir ekaha kuru nandana bahu sakhaye anantascha buddhyo vyavasayinam. Synonyms. Vyavasya atmika, resolute in Krishna consciousness. Buddhi, intelligence. Ekaha, only one. Eha, in this world. Kuru Nandana, O beloved child of Kurus. Bahu Shakha, having various branches. He, indeed. Anta, unlimited. Cha, also. Buddhya, intelligence. Avasya, inam, of those who are not in Krishna consciousness. Translations and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who are on this path, are resolute in purpose. In their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute in many branched. Purport. A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasya Atmika, intelligence. The Chaitanya Charan Amrit, Madhya 22.62 states, Shraddha Shabde Vyavasya Kahe Shudra Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarvasya Karma Karte Haya. Faith means unfailing trust in something sublime. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he is not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or naturality. Fruitive activities and the engagement of the one's reactions from the past, good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When he is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. The absolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasuveda Sarvam. Itisa Mahatma Su Durlabh is a
Okay,
person Krishna.
Prabhu, just hold on one second, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay,
This
Prabhu.
sloka, let's contemplate on this sloka. Very important. All of you, Prabhupada is giving this sloka is called the faith sloka. Okay, faith sloka. Prabhupada defines what is meant by faith or shraddha. Okay, so what is it? How is he defining? Shraddha shabde vishwasha kahe suhurdasya nischaya Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karma krita haya. Okay, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Faith means what? Unflinching trust in something sublime. What is meant by sublime? Anybody?
Complete surrender.
Complete surrender. Okay. Just think and try. Okay. Faith means unflinching trust. We can understand. Okay.
Is it referring, Prabhuji, sublime means something who exists but can't exist everywhere but can't see it?
Yeah, correct. Very good. Okay, that is one aspect. Very nice. Okay, then. Anything else you are thinking of? You're able to think?
Prabhuji, what was the question? Can you repeat it?
What is meant by sublime?
Lime.
I know only lemon. What is this sublime?
Greatest, Prabhu.
Greatest. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, Vipul Prabhu was almost there. Very good. Correct. Mostly correct. So Vipul, so what is the answer is mostly like which will not be able to accept immediately and which is beyond our sense gratification. Sorry, sense understanding, beyond our knowledge, beyond our acceptance factor itself. Okay, that which is like kind of above our thought process. Let's say you see something, you're able to trust. Let's say somebody says, "Oh, this is the best person. He has this qualification, these things." How do you believe? If you see his certificates, if you see his experience and all, then you will be able to give a trust, right? Here, sublime means which is great, correct? Which is beyond our material conception, which is unimaginable for us, and most importantly, which will never be able to get that full understanding. But still, if somebody is able to have the unflinching trust on it, that is called as faith. Okay. So, for example, if our mother says something, If our mother says, hey, this is what is it, then we don't go and question our mother, correct? So same way, Vedas are considered as our mother. So when Vedas say something, this is Krishna and he is a supreme personality of Godhead, that is all. There is no second thought or second question about um, the trust factor. So Prabhupada is using a nice word. Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. So the Shraddha is the most important factor which lays the foundation for all the other things, whatever be it. For example, even in material world also, let's say you join a particular coach for some sports activity, some training. What is the main thing? Let's say you want to do some body, what is it, exercise to reduce your weight or something. You have to put 100% faith on that particular coach or somebody who will give you all kind of activities which you will believe that it will bring to. The moment you feel like, no, this coach is not that good for me, I don't think it will mean, that's all. We will never get that end result of it, right? Same way Prabhupada is making that point. We have to have unflinching faith on our Acharya, unflinching faith on our activities for Krishna. Whatever be it, it'll please, I'm doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. Then that faith will become very strong. This sloka is all about what very important point. Prabhupada is making a strong faith that by Krishna conscious one be elevated. So we will never be able to get that very 100% strong faith, right? Still we are, our faith is kind of wavering only. To some extent, it is improving. To some extent, we are trying to get to it. But main point is what? Those who are having multiple different varieties of going here and there, over there, what Krishna is saying, their resolute, their determination is very less. Their goal is very weak. They will never be able to get into the right path and right aim. But however, whose intelligence is very thorough, whose intelligence, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. The word Buddhi is used. From this sloka onwards, Krishna will use the word Buddhaya Buddhi, which means perfect knowledge, perfect intelligence, perfect understanding. It does not require study of all the literature, everything, but right way of applying the faith is intelligence. Okay, so intelligence is not about, oh, he has finished Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhare, Bhakti this one, he has finished doctorate, PhD. No, intelligence is all about applying the correct faith on the correct person. That's all. Right? We apply our intelligence to apply our faith on our Acharya, then our faith will grow like anything. And we will never be diverted. We will never be getting into, can we do this also? Can we do it also? No. Right? So Prabhupada is also giving a lot of nice example in this sloka. Okay, the highest perfection of consciousness is renunciation of the material consciousness. So Prabhupada is talking about Krishna conscious philosophy, but mainly from Krishna's point of view. What is it? You have to have a one focused attention, one focused resolute nature of performance things. Whatever be it, once that faith is established, definitely you will be able to progress nicely. So this sloka is also a preaching sloka, where if anybody is going to ask, can I do this also? Can I do that also? Can I do this? No, not necessary. Just focus on one aspect, you will definitely be able to get. So that is what the trust portion is about. Okay. And the next section, Prabhupada will talk about to whom it has to be given. With for whom or on whom we have to apply that. Okay. Yeah. This is a nice section, very nice section. Please read, Madaji. Service in this paragraph.
Hare Krishna. Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practiced under the able guidance of spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna, and one should accept the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura instructs us in his famous prayer for the spiritual master as follows. Yasya prasada bhagavad prasado yasya prasadana nagatika topi dayantu amstasya yasya trisandam vande guru shri charanavindam. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied, and by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for His mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him my spiritual master. The whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body, not theoretically but practically. When there is no longer a chance for sense gratification manifested in fruitive activities, one who is not firmly fixed in mind is diverted by various types of fruitive activities. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So how anybody, I just want to hear some realization. How do you see between these three major blocks? First block is about knowledge. Second block is all about faith. And third block, Prabhupada is bringing called as spiritual master. How is it all connected? Anybody? And fourth block is devotion. Okay, we can add it. We can add that block also. Fourth block in a cycle. In a way, you will see faith. You have knowledge. You have spiritual master, and fourth is devotion. Devotion to Krishna. Okay, just think about this concept. Let me know how does it circle out.
When we
Because this.
have the, sorry, it's okay, you can
Second.
continue, Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji. Anybody?
Prabhuji, just I'm thinking it could be like that, or I may be wrong. I don't know. With the faith, with when we have the knowledge, knowledge is given by spiritual master. When the knowledge comes from the spiritual master, we develop faith, and then that's how we get we move towards spiritual, like progress in spirituality, and then we go towards Krishna. That's what I thought.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mataji.
These three things are surrounded around the consciousness.
Consciousness. Okay, very good. Okay. Mataji, you wanted to say something, I think, Dada. So I want you to contemplate on this concept. You have knowledge, you have faith, you have your acharya, and we have devotion to Krishna consciousness. Okay, Prabhu mentioned, Simha Chaitanya mentioned a very nice point, consciousness. Okay, but how do you thread it out on all these four with relevance to this sloka?
Prabhu, when we have right knowledge and we increase our faith, the spiritual by the blessings of spiritual master, our devotional service will increase, and when the devotional service will increase, our faith will again increase. In this way, it will.
Okay, nice point. Good. So there is a cyclic chain. You have more knowledge, you get more faith. With more faith, you'll have to get more instructions from spiritual master. With more instructions from spiritual master, you will be able to do more nice devotion service. Okay, good. Okay.
And maybe Prabhuji rearranging this, I don't know if I'm correct or not. So it starts with faith, and you go to spiritual master for knowledge, which helps you, in your devotional life.
Okay, so you're putting faith and spiritual master first, and then the knowledge comes, and then with the knowledge you will perform devotion service. Okay. So, but the block is changed. That is fine. Okay. Then anybody? See, I want you to think about the concept. Prabhupada, this is a very important fundamental concept, and this loka is also very importantly emphasizing that. Okay, what is that emphasis is you cannot have multiple varieties, multiple ways, which means you should have unflinching faith, and then with unflinching faith you get into surrender, or you get into an understanding that yes, I need a spiritual master, and that spiritual master is giving the devotion service, and that spiritual master alone can take me to this one, and that spiritual master alone knows my weakness, and that spiritual master alone only will be able to guide me. So these are all the knowledge that establishes the faith firmly, and then spiritual master will guide us towards Krishna consciousness. So either way, you can put the building block in whatever way you want. Let's say the other way of putting it is, okay, I want devotion service. I know I have to surrender to Krishna, but what should I do? Okay, I have to increase my faith, I have to get knowledge. Where should I go? I have to go to spiritual master. Or you put faith first, then you get spiritual master, like how Amit Prabhu mentioned. Then you get knowledge, then devotion. Or you have knowledge first, like Chandrakant Prabhu said. You first put knowledge. With the knowledge growing, you increase your faith, and then with the faith, you go to spiritual master, and then whatever be it, either way, the blocks you put it. Most importantly, all the floor has to grow individually also, and all the four has to grow collectively also. Okay, that is where our Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi will be completely in a very strong way. Okay, continue. Clear? Let's go to 42-43. Yami mam pushpitam vacham pravadyanti avapashitaha vedavada rata partha nanyat asti vadinaha kamatmanaha swargapara janma karma pradham kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. So this is a sloka in which Krishna is talking about importance of understanding Vedas in the correct way. Okay, so now what is he going? So where do we see now? We saw in the previous section Krishna is talking about karma. Now what is he talking about? Slowly.
Buddhi.
Buddhi, intelligence with knowledge. Okay, slowly he is moving from buddhi and knowledge perspective, which means Gyan Yoga. So what is meant by exact knowledge? Where to apply that knowledge? How do I increase my intelligence? Okay, please read 42-43's purport is okay, but purport has got a very important concept called as karma kanda. Okay, so you have to be very clear between what is karma yoga versus karma kanda, and then sakama karma and then nishkama karma. Okay, so this is a very important section. Please quickly read the translation and purport. Who's supposed to read? Rajendra Prabhu, you want to read? You can read. Go ahead. Haladar Prabhu.
Purport, correct?
Translation purport. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, translation. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the story words of Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, result in good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Purpose. People in general are not very intelligent, and due to their ignorance, they are most attached to creative activities recommended in Karma Kanda portions of Vedas. They do not want anything more than sense gratification proposals for enjoying life in heaven, where wine, women are available, and material opulence is very common. In the Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to heavenly planets, especially the Jyotishtama sacrifices. In fact, it is stated that anyone desiring elevation to heavenly planets must perform these active sacrifices, and the men with poor fund of knowledge think that this is whole purpose of Vedic wisdom. It is very difficult for such inexperienced person to be situated in determined action of Krishna consciousness. As fools are attached to the flowers of poisonous trees without knowing the results of such attractions, unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof. In Karmakanda section of Vedas, it is said Apama Somam Amrita Abhuma and Akshayam Ha Vai Chaturmasyam Yajina Sukartam Bhavati. In other words, those who perform the 4-month penances become eligible to drink the Somarasa beverages to become immortal and happy forever. Even on the earth, some are very eager to have Somarasa to become strong and fit to enjoy sense gratification. Such persons have no faith in liberation from material bondage, and they are very much attached to the pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifices. They are generally sensual and they do not want anything other than the heavenly pleasures of life. It is understood that there are gardens called Nandana Kanana, in which there is a good opportunity for association with angelic, beautiful women and having profuse supply of Somarasa wine. Such bodily happiness is certainly sensual. Therefore, there are those who are purely attached to the material, temporary happiness as lords of material world.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So this sloka, how do we understand this sloka? What is the first word Prabhupada is using? People in general are not very intelligent. And due to their ignorance, they're most attached to fruitive activities recommended in Karma Kanda. So people in general are not intelligent here means what?
they are not aware of the reality of about liberty and real God consciousness, Krishna consciousness.
They are
do
not
not have
aware about
knowledge.
Okay.
No
They are
knowledge.
they are more into material things.
Wait. Yeah. Okay. They are more into material. Okay. Then Prabhu, Chandrakant Prabhu.
Always attached to the fruitive activities.
Always attached to the fruitive activities. Okay.
Prabhu, intelligence means we don't not knowing the real purpose of life.
Exactly. Thank you, Prabhu. So this is what I was expecting. So people in Prabhupada is making, yes, karma kanda is there, the actions to perform is there, but the real purpose of that is not fully utilized. So they use it for some other activity, for some other purpose, so some other activity, and then they are getting the benefit. There is no doubt they are getting benefit, but it is all that benefit is more towards their sense gratification, more towards whatever they want to achieve in their material platform, and they are so that is the very important point where Prabhupada is emphasizing that. Krishna also making that point that yes, when you understand about knowledge, when you understand about gyan, when you understand about the need for knowledge, you have to be very clear what is the exact purpose of that particular instance. Okay, that is why yamimam pushpitam vacham. Pushpitam vacham means flowery words. So men of small knowledge, men of lesser intelligence, it is not wrong. It is not. They are both Krishna and Prabhupada is not saying, oh, these are all wrong people. No, he's saying they have little knowledge, they have lesser intelligence. They are okay. But what is the thing is they are not okay to the exact purpose. So whatever they perform, try to do this yajna, dana, tapasya, whatever activities they try to do is more from their karma sense gratification and more towards happy living in this material world, which is okay, which is not, nobody is saying incorrect. Why it has been given? Because why it has been given? Because that is what that particular person wanted. Okay, to live in a harmonized way, to live how to perfectly living, all those things is okay, but a little deeper understanding of performance of these actions, where do they lead me to, where do that particular thing actually goal is towards Krishna, is towards devotion service to Krishna. So somebody performing an action with a karma kanda perspective of achieving certain material benefits is of lesser intelligence because he is not utilizing it perfectly. For example, performing of Ashwamedha Yajna, performance of this Yajna, performance of that Tapasya, like all these great asuras, great personalities, they did lot of Tapasya, and tapasyas are all mentioned in the karma kanda. It is, if you do this you will get this, if you do this you will get this. Fasting, for example, this, so all are focused towards some achievement, some result, but the actual result is to get into the next level of things. So that is why, very importantly, the action remains the same, the purpose of the action changes. Okay, very important. So that is the knowledge, that is the intelligence. We are not changing. Krishna consciousness is not about changing the actions, but the performance action of also remains the same, but the purpose of the actions changes. Why am I doing it is more important. Clear? So Prabhupada is giving these examples of Chaturmasa Yajna, then performance of this drinking, performance of Yajna, then they will go to heavenly planets, they will enjoy Somarasa. So all are only at the sense gratification purpose. Okay, and they will never get liberation, they will never be able to think about liberation, they will never be able to come out of this material bondage. They will be performance, they will be doing activity, then coming back again, lot of tapasya, a lot of things, and then again coming. So it is kind of a cyclic reaction only, but they will never be able to come out of it. Okay, so here why Krishna is bringing this knowledge, this portion? Yes, there is a section of knowledge, there is a section of understanding, but you have to be very clear. You have to understand what is the exact purpose of it. Then you will be able to appreciate it nicely. Otherwise, your appreciation will, or your faith portion will get into something else. Okay, clear? Any example of performance of karma kanda? Any example? Whatever you think.
Prabhu, like in general, the priests perform the puja, like for
The
some
priest
shanti
perform.
or for some, Like they said, Prabhu, that your time is bad, so do this puja, then the planets will be satisfied and the time will pass happily.
Okay. Whatever be. Correct. Mostly the samskaras that we try to do is all from the Vedas, the samskaras. And samskaras are very important, but the purpose of the samskaras has to be understood and not the ritual portion of the samskaras. Mostly the samskaras of, for example, the samskara of Ayushomam, samskara of marriage ceremony, vivaha ceremony, samskara of there are different samskaras for different groups and different sects also. But the samskaras will have rituals also. Rituals means you have to do this, you have to put this first, you have to do number 2, you have to do number 3, you have to perform this. These are all the ritualistic portion of it. But the purpose of the samskaras, for example, punyagavachana means cleaning of the activity. So if they don't perform it as per the purpose, then it will become a ritual. Okay, which means what? It is just performance only, not getting the exact result. Okay. For example, there is a samskar called as Vidyarambam. Vidyarambam means for children who want to start studying, who want to do, or Annaprashnam. Annaprashnam means start taking food. These are all small samskaras, but samskaras, performance of that samskara will enable that Jivatma, enable that family to grow into the correct direction. But just for the sake of performance they do, then it will become a ritual. So be very clear what is the definition of ritual, what is the definition of a samskara, what is the definition of the karma kanda portion. Okay, so rituals and the actions that we perform will go hand in hand. We cannot say, oh, these are all ritualistic activities, I will skip. No, you cannot skip it, you have to do it. But however, when you try to do it as per the purpose, as per this one, then you will get the performance. Okay, this is all at the normal karma level, karma kanda level. What we are going to go later in the next sections of Bhagavad Gita is all about devotion service to Krishna, where it will go above these rituals, above this karma portion, above this, and then you will be into a different stage of performance of action. So whatever we are trying to do is basic bare minimum of performance of karma kanda, and then karma yoga portion. Clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so I'm taking a little pause for you to digest this section. Okay, it will not be that easy to understand immediately, but if you go and contemplate again and again, then you will get an understanding. Okay, this is how the structure is put. Okay, 44th sloka, 43, 44 will go together. Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam
Hare Krishna,
Taya
Prabhu.
Aprasata Chetam. Yeah, Prabhu.
One question, Prabhu. Prabhu, if the karma kanta is not important, why the Veda is having this information? Directly they can give the knowledge, but most of the Vedas talking about different karma kantas activities.
Yeah, 90% of Vedas will talk about the karma kanda, but the sublime and internal understanding of the karma kanda is leading towards Krishna, or surrender untowards Krishna is the ultimate goal of that particular Vedas. Why it is there? Because that Jivatma was going in haphazard way, and they don't know what to do, how to do, how to lead this normal way of life. Otherwise, we'll become animalistic way of living. And Vedas give us, given directly by Krishna only, and Vedas is nothing but representation of Krishna through Brahma, through the acharyas. We have got it, but what is the purpose? Is to make us more from elevate us from an animalistic way of living to a higher intelligent living. First point. Second point is to regulate our society, to regulate our habits, to regulate our principles, regulate our purpose. And then we wanted to enjoy, we wanted to have this own this material world, we want to do all these things. So that also provides. So it provides everything that is required for somebody to live happily in this material world. Okay, that is why it is given, because we wanted, this Jivatma wanted to, Jivatma thought, why Krishna alone is the master, why can't I become the master? I will go and I want to go and I want to enjoy. So immediately Krishna created this material world, he gave this entire everything, and he also gave this guide, this principles, these procedures. Follow these things, you will be happy, you will be good. Okay, so that is the initial understanding by which it was given. But Krishna being our supreme father, Brahma being our supreme spiritual master, they gave the purpose of the Vedas also into that. They gave the real purposes. At least by performing these things, one day or the other, you will realize that no, you have to surrender to Krishna and then come out of this entanglement of material world, which is also there in the Vedas. Okay, Vedaishta Sarvam Ahameva Vedya Vedanta Krit. So the ultimate goal of Vedas is to achieve that Krishna consciousness of Krishna. So that will come until and otherwise you don't have perfect faith on the portion. Until otherwise we don't understand why you are performing certain actions. So we have to undergo that process. Nobody is saying I will directly jump to this. No, you have to undergo the process. But when you undergo the process, you have to be very firm, and faith should be built. Then it will be much more stronger. Otherwise, what will happen? Without this portion, we will jump to other things. Our faith will become very weak. For example, if somebody says, "Oh, Krishna is the supreme Lord," okay, then you accept and you go, and then you go to what do you say? You go to Vrindavan. You stay in Vrindavan. You see so much of different activities performed by great, wonderful devotees, right? Then you will question, what is this? This is not the way to do. For example, Sanatana Goswami, when he was trying to do Madhukari, he told Krishna that no, I don't have money, I don't have anything. I can give you only plain atta roti. I don't even have salt. So his faith was in that way, and then he was having that higher level of consciousness. But with somebody reading that and also, what is this? We are supposed to perform, we are supposed to do this act very nicely. How we can do? We have to give Krishna very nicely. We have to do. So they'll have a lot of question. But beyond that is what the relationship with Krishna. So Karma Kanda will help us to establish that relationship, get into more. But going beyond that is the main point. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah, Prabhuji, so I also, I mean, is it correct to say that when Vedas were given by Krishna, so he knew what kind of desires a human being, I'm not a human being, a soul can have in this material world. So he created a guide for everything. So probably I think we also went through all that cycle of, we want everything in Swarg and everything. But now, since the journey of our souls, we have come here and we are now seeing beyond that, and we are into Krishna conscious. So it's the root cause is the desire of the Jivatma. He knew what all a Jivatma can desire, and he gave basically a directory that
correct.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. The same Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita is also another Veda. The same Bhagavad Gita, when somebody, a Karma Kanda person wants to read, he will get a lot of, because Krishna will talk about Yajna, Krishna will talk about Tapasya, Krishna will talk about how to get good rainfall, how to get Annad, Bhavati Bhutani, and Parjanya, Tanna. We'll talk about nice things also. So somebody who wants to understand Bhagavad Gita from that perspective, yes, Krishna gives that also. But somebody who is talking about devotion service, Krishna will talk about this Paritrana Sadhunam, he'll talk about protection also. Then for a perfect devotee, you will say Sarvadharman Paridasya Mam Ekam Sarvada Masuchaha. So same Bhagavad Gita, but he answers for everybody. But in their own perspectives, if they see, then they will get the benefit out of it. That's all. Okay. Okay, let's go. Keep going. 44th sloka.
Prabhuji, one quick thing. Our daily chanting also comes in Karma Kanda, right?
No, our daily chanting will not come under Karma Kanda. Our daily chanting is beyond Karma Kanda, because chanting is in a ritualistic way. If you perform, okay, I am just doing it for the sake of doing it, it will fall under Karma Kanda. But if you slightly modify that and then say, oh, this chanting I'm doing is for the pleasure of Krishna, then it will go beyond Karma Kanda, because Karma Kanda will give you material benefits. So chanting, that is why when you try to do chanting, okay, I want to pass, I want to get promotion, I want to get this one, means then it will be falling under it will falling under Karma Kanda. But the same chanting, if you, it is not fault. It's okay. Somebody for a new person, okay, they want to somehow do chanting, let them do it. But when we try to do chanting, what the purpose of our chanting is, I'm doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. I'm doing this for the sake of I am happy and I want to serve more to Krishna. Give me more seva. So when we try to do that, then it will become even beyond Karma Yoga. It is more of Karma Yoga with Buddhi. Then it will become devotion service. Nice question, Prabhu. Thank you. Clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
So our goal should be that way. Initially, it will be whatever be it, that's okay. Even for anybody, when we say do this chanting, it will help you to move away from problems. Do this chanting, you will get good marks. Do this chanting, you will be away from your health. These are all at the normal level. That's okay. At least they are trying to get to them. That will be falling under karma kanta portion. That is normal chanting. But a devotee performance of chanting is different from others. That is what we are going to see in the next sections. So as I told you, the same actions means worship of devotees, worship of the deities, worship of performance of arti, worship of all things are also part of actions only, but the same thing with the purpose will change. Okay. भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया प्रहत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समादौ न विधीयते. Please read, Mataji.
I had one question that suppose somebody is doing karma kanda activities but with devotional thoughts, like they are not expecting any results from that karma kanda, but the activity is karma kanda. So how we should see that activity?
It is good, Mataji. It is a way. So any karma kanda activity with devotional service, immediately the karma kanda will go away. It will become a devotional service. So
So if they
the
are
moment they
worshipping like demigods or something, how it will
no,
be?
the demigod worship is not devotional service to Krishna. Demigod worship will still fall under karma kanda only.
Okay, so
Because demigod,
many people we see that they are doing it with lot of devotion,
yeah,
worship to demigods, but
yeah,
that will not
that
fall under devotional service.
devotion service to Krishna. So that is devotion. We can, if at all we want to understand it in a more way, that is devotion. It is not devotional service. So in fourth chapter, Krishna will say, you do this yajna for this particular devotion, for this particular devata, this devata, you will definitely get it. So we have that 100% faith, because Krishna himself is saying, for us to live happily in this material world, you worship all these devatas, then you will get it. So with lot of devotion, which means with lot of faith, we will do it, and we will definitely get that benefit, no doubt. But whether is it the real devotional service that is leading us towards Krishna? Yes, it will lead, but it will take a lot of more time. So because later on Krishna will say, whatever you have done for others also is actually coming to me only, but it will take a lot of more time, lot of things, but that is okay. But if you are able to do it directly to me, that is much more easier, that is much more quicker, much more faster. So try to get hold of an acharya, start performing the same yajna, dhyana, tapasya for the pleasure of me. Automatically others are also will be happy. I will also give you whatever you desire.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. So we will discuss about what is meant by devotion a little later in the fourth chapter. Devotion has got multiple levels also. So whatever they somebody performing for the devatas is also devotion, but the devotion has got a separate purpose and aim, and that will get fulfilled. That will have a time, and then based on that particular time and factor, slowly then the devotional service portion, the surrender portion, without any expectation. So whatever we try to perform 100% devotion with for the devatas is also have some kind of an expectation with us, for us. But devotion service to Krishna is without expectations. I mean, at least that should be our goal.
Yes, but many times we do devotional service also with
Yeah.
expectations.
Yeah.
It happens
That is
most of
okay.
the time.
Yeah.
So will it be devotional
Yeah.
service or what it is?
That will become devotion service. That is what Krishna will say. Instead of doing it for somebody else, at least you are doing it for me. That is absolutely fine. You do it. Then slowly you will realize that I am already fulfilling all your desires, and slowly you will understand that you will be able to perform devotion without desires. That will come. But Krishna, he will emphasize that point. Today you are doing yajna, dana, tapasya for this devata. Do it. You please do it. That's what Krishna will emphasize. Then slowly, if you understand that everything is coming from me, you please do it for me. I will give you. Then the next step is you do it for me without any expectation. Then that is 100% devotional service.
This is Sri Prabhu. Just quick question, Prabhu. So we do celebrate festivals like Vinayak Chaturthi. So the purpose is, of course, to give some knowledge so that we can progress towards spiritual side. Is that okay to celebrate Chaturthi with children, or how do we define that?
Yeah. So for us to get that unflinching faith, until we have received that unflinching faith, we always recommend to others, yes, if you want to do, please do it. Don't stop the performance of these activities. But we have to give the higher recommendation also, that doing this activity will give you this particular thing. But beyond this, if you try to do it for the pleasure of Krishna, for this activity, then you are actually performing this particular karma yoga with an intelligence, which will give you more benefit and more higher knowledge and more higher thought. Which means the same activity, if you try to channelize that activity in a different perspective, that is also good. So we will never say no. We will say, we'll give a higher thought to it, then try to give them that recommendation. Say, if you really want this way, then this is the best approach. But if you still want to continue, please continue. We will not say no.
Okay. Now, for example, I go to Shiva temple and I pray. I mean, Shiva is a great devotee to Krishna, so give some blessings that I can progress towards Krishna. This that, I mean, even I won't pray to Shiva, also just asking. I mean, that gives some knowledge so that I can progress. Is that keeping in the sense, keeping Krishna at the center?
Okay. That's what I'm saying. That is also absolutely fine, but the purpose is changing. Earlier, when we used to go to Shiva temple, what was the purpose? Purpose is somehow make me happy, somehow give this, somehow that. But the purpose is now getting changed. So when you have a different perspective of seeing the same ritual, same devotion, this one for a different perspective, different purpose, it is absolutely fine. No issues at all.
Okay. Clear, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in this way, then
Yes,
we will
ma'am.
be detached from all this, our material, like we are responsible for our kids. So if we will go to this level, then we will be detached, and then we will stop thinking in that perspective, like that we are accountable for our kids.
Then which means the faith is still not this one. So what Krishna will say, when somebody's faith is like that, please continue, and that's what he will say. But the moment if you have 100% faith, then Krishna will definitely take care. And whatever that particular jivatma, either the children, parents, relatives, whomsoever, they will definitely get whatever you are trying to do for them, and they will also get a higher intelligence when they get to know about what is the exact purpose of this and purpose of that, and they will also follow the same path. So you don't have to worry about, oh, then the samskaras will go. No, it will not. They will know a better way of dealing with these samskaras and these particular activities. We have to teach them. Nobody is going to say, oh, let's skip all these. No. We have to teach them, but teach them with the exact purpose of what is the requirement.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, when we are in Krishna consciousness path, all our activities fall under the devotional service, isn't it, Prabhu?
No. When you say all, which again I'm putting that point, initially it might look like, oh, everything is Krishna consciousness, but the same activity performed by a very nice, unflinching, faithful person will have higher benefit, higher devotion service. But slowly it will improve. So for initial level persons, they are just, for example, I'm just giving an example, chanting. I'm giving an example of performance of cooking and then offering to the Lord. So initially it will become ritual. Oh, the Prabhuji has told, Mata has told, let me cook and offer. Okay, that is at a lower level. But slowly your practice, it will become ritual. Every day 7 o'clock before going home, before going to office, stand in front of Krishna, just say Hare Krishna and go. It's a ritual. Then that slow ritual will become more of devotion when you start applying that faith and knowledge to it. So Krishna consciousness, initially what Prabhupada is saying, you make them understand what is the purpose, get them to do these activities, and then slowly you will understand that even without these rituals, even without this one, if your consciousness is a higher level, that is absolutely fine. Okay, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So these sections are all interesting sections. We will go little more detailed when we sit and study 3rd chapter and 5th chapter. There is an entire section called as Karma Yoga portion. Then you will be able to understand, wow, so much is there for us to understand, for us to get that portion. And more importantly, when you talk with others, when you talk to others, you have to be very, very careful, and you have to put it in a very sublime way. When you say sublime way, you should not hurt others also, but at the same time encourage others also. So that is more important. We will never say this is all waste, you are whatever you're doing, no, then it means we have not understood the real purpose of it. Okay, so we have to encourage others also, our own friends, relatives, everybody, but at the same time we have to make them understand the higher purpose of it. Then it will become easy. Okay, clear? It may not be clear now, that's okay. Just start contemplating, you will get the clarity slowly. Okay, let's go. Translation.
The minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Samadhi means fixed mind. The Vedic dictionary, the Nirukti, says, Samyak adihate asmin atma tattva yatatmiyam. When the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is said to be in Samadhi. Samadhi is never possible for persons interested in material sense enjoyment, nor for those who are bewildered by such temporary things. They are more or less condemned by the process of material energy. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay, very small purpose. Translation is very important. You repeat the translation, you will get a very clear understanding. In the minds of those who are attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, first point, and who are bewildered by sin because they don't know what exactly think. What is event? The resolute determination for devotion service will not take place. So it is completely, what is it? It is completely
Not
Illusion.
acceptable to those attached to material world.
completely opposite. Okay, devotional service is opposite to material opulence and sense enjoyment. So if your mind is more towards sense enjoyment and material opulence, definitely devotional service is not there. Okay, for example, somebody will have material opulence, but they will be on the material. They will have material opulence, but they are not attached to that material opulence. Be very clear. Okay. So they might somebody who's very rich, what is it? Yes, they have material opulence, no doubt about it, but they will never be attached to that material opulence, and then they will utilize that material opulence for Krishna's seva. Okay, and somebody will have a lot of nice sense enjoyment activity also, but they will utilize that for Krishna's seva. Okay, let's say you have a wonderful car, you have a wonderful house, you have a lot of money, then it is high opulence only, no doubt about it. But what is the purpose of it, and then how do you utilize it without attachment is more of devotional service. Okay, and this word samadhi is also samadhi. We will come. There are specific sections in which we'll deal with samadhi. Here, samadhi here means what? Fixed mind. Samadhi sometimes will refer to final destination. Samadhi sometimes will refer to the last resort. Samadhi means complete surrender. So there are multiple understanding that we'll understand. But here, samadhi means bringing all the thoughts, all the thinking, everything to one particular point. Okay, so they will say he has attained samadhi, which means what? Physically, mentally also. Physically means just go and sitting in one place is samadhi. Okay, but mentally is more important. So even in your normal day-to-day life, somebody will say, oh, have you gone to samadhi? Which means what? Complete deep sleep or completely in a different state of mind. Okay, so Prabhupada is also giving this nice word. Samadhi is never possible for such persons. Interest in material sense enjoyment, we will represent temporary. So such temporary things, which what yamyam pushpitam vacham pravadhyanti anusha. So all these flowery words of Vedas are all temporary only. Just for this particular material life, it will be there. Sukha Bhoga. That's all. Okay. 1 second. Yeah, please read 45th sloka.
Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nishtraigunyo Bhavajana Yodvando Nityasattvasto New Yoga Kshematmavan. Traigunya, pertaining to the three modes of material nature. Vishaya, on the subject matter. Veda, Vedic literatures. Nishtraigunya, transcendental to the three modes of material nature. Bhava, be, Arjuna or Arjuna, Nirdvandvaha, without duality, Nitya Sattvastaha, in a pure state of spiritual existence, Yoga Kshemaha, free from ideas of gain and protection, Atmavan, established in the self. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature, O Arjuna. Become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Purport. All material activities involve actions and reactions to the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results, which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where, in the beginning, there is Brahma Jigyasa, or questions on the supreme transcendence. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karmakanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of the Upanishads, which are part of different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life. As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities, such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities, become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna.
Thank you, bro. So this will answer Rama Rasika Mataji's question also. So initially, if somebody wants to, this sloka is also nice. Traigunya Vishayaveda, Nistrigunya Bhavarjana. So Traigunya Gunya Vishayaveda, which means whatever pertaining to this material mode of life, whatever that is required, Nistrigunya Bhavarjana. So what will happen? Whatever is required for this material living is provided by Vedas. The guidance to perform certain activities which will make them really happy, because they are suffering. Sometimes they'll feel we don't know what to do, how to do. All those things are all there. Okay, but most importantly, what is the purpose of that is Nistraiganyo Bhavarjana, Nirdhvanto Nirdhvandva, which means it is already available there, but you have to come out of this Sukha Dukkha, Labha Labho, Jaya Jayo. When you come out of that particular the dualities, okay, what will happen? Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. So which means Nistraigunyo. It will come out of that material anxiety. It will come out of that particular dualities, and you will be able to think. Okay. So here Krishna is making it very nicely, pointing it out. Okay, all material activities involve actions and reactions in the mode of. So very important line from a karma definition perspective. What is meant by karma? Anything that you perform will have a reaction which will be bound by the material modes, the Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. So definitely there will be a fruitive result. There will be a bondage to it, whether it is good, bad, whatever be it. Okay. So this line is very important. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public. So whomsoever performing any Devata worship, everything is devotion service. Yes, it is devotion service. But that devotion service will slowly elevate them to next level. So we have to encourage them, not say, oh, don't perform, but slow. How do we encourage? We have to say that, you understand the purpose of it. Don't go into the next this one. So you better try to do this for the sake of Krishna. Everything is coming. So when you go into the next level and say, even this is the moolam, the source is from the Supreme Lord, then they will be able to understand the real purpose, and then they will be able to get it. Okay. This line is also very important. As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reaction materials. For example, somebody is suffering. Even a great devotee, sometimes outwardly he might exhibit lot of difficulties or sufferings or whatever. But whatever be the point, the material body will undergo. But outwardly it is a material body, but internally it is highly elevated way, where they are not undergoing any kind of spiritual level of this one. They are already at higher consciousness, higher level of thinking. So bodily action reactions will come and go, but they will never be impacted to it. Okay. And this line is also this purpose are very wonderful. Okay. One has to learn, tolerate in the face of dualities. Learn to tolerate. Okay. Tam titikshvasva bharata. So how we will get that? When one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. Are we fully dependent on Krishna? Yes, to some extent, yes, we are trying to, but still we have somewhere here and there some black dots, something here and there. So it requires a lot of more and more cleaning. How do we do the cleaning? Is through chanting, through performance of seva, all other things. Then the cleaning process will continue, and then we'll be able to get through. Okay. I think I'll stop here today. This will be a wonderful sloka. We have finished till 45. But just contemplate on all these specific points, then you will be able to understand how do we take it further from a normal karma perspective, karma kanda perspective, to the karma yoga. So we are yet to go to the karma yoga portion. Okay, same concept, same actions, but with a different thought, different purpose, with a higher intelligence. Okay. So this is also very important. But what he's saying, Lord Krishna is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jignasa. But slowly then he will be able to understand what is the purpose of the Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta philosophy remains the same. Philosophy is permanent. It is Vedanta, the output of Vedanta remains the same, but the purpose, the perspective and purposes will change, and they will have their own understanding and conclusions. Okay. We'll continue with this Vedas. Next 46, 47, all about performance of action with knowledge, why Vedas is there. How do we, why Arjuna was earlier saying, Arjuna was trying to refer to all Vedas and this is not good, this is not good, this will lead me to hellish condition. So he was trying to refer Vedas and all, right? So Krishna wants to emphasize the important aspect of Gyan Yog mein purpose of Vedas. What is the real necessity in need of Vedas? Okay. Fine. Okay. I think I'll stop here today. Let's continue on next Wednesday. 47th sloka also is very important. You can all understand Karmaniya Vadikaryasya. Okay. I will continue that.
Prabhuji, can you please share previous recordings? I mean, last week and
Today today also I'm little outside, but I have to sit and
wait
do.
in queue. यहाँ पे खड़े रहो बस.
ठीक है? Okay,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
उधर नहीं जाना.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So as usual, just put the summary
Yes, Prabhuji.
put the summary points of today's understanding. Each of you think about your own way of understanding, and then put it so that it will help others. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam.